The Cork Dorks with Adam Montiel and Jeremy West, live from the California Mid-State Fair.
All right, day number 8 of the California Mid-State Fair, Mission Square, the place to be, hanging out with...
The friend zone.
Yeah, right, the friend zone. We're in the friend zone here. We got the CCB here, Central Coast Brewing. You'll find them in San Luis Obispo.
Here's the friends again, being together on the same stage.
Cheers.
There we go. Craft Beer Week is going on, and we're into all the different craft beers. How many beers are you making now? How many beers do you have out in production?
We've got 15 on tap right now.
And 15 on tap.
Yeah,
All right,
and we've got at any given time anywhere between 8 and 12 in cans, which is, I mean, if you compare that to pre-COVID when we were lucky to have 6 at a time.
Well, it feels like every time we have you on here each year, George, there's so much to talk about, so much new, so much evolving. What is on the horizon? I'm kind of curious, what you can tell us. And
I think the industry as a whole is becoming the social industry.
Yeah.
And it's not just about the beer anymore. It's about what's the atmosphere,
the experience.
What's the experience
that you get with the beer?
What are we doing when we're having that one beer now, not 8?
So are you going to get into experiences possibly in the future?
Possibly. There could be some fun experiences coming down your way. So you could be maybe shooting an arrow or an axe.
Well, you know what I think is funny?
Axe throwing is a thing. Everyone's throwing axes.
I just can't believe they let these axe throwers go to bars. But then I saw there's a cage. You're all inside. It's pretty safe.
So self-contained.
And then I've learned everyone's good at this. Everyone posts on Instagram, I threw axes today. And they throw up a picture of them getting a bullseye. This must be really easy.
Is
axe throwing easy?
It's super hard.
Well, okay. Says the girl who did it in heels in sawdust.
Everybody is going to get
it.
See, that's my point. I think it's easy.
By the way, I killed it in heels.
But they tell you how to throw it, right?
No,
it's
I
like
mastered it on my own.
It's like Bernadette Peters in The Jerk throwing the knife at Steve Martin. It's just like, boom, perfect.
That's when he lost the eye.
Right, yeah.
But, no, it's... So I think the experience of bringing back the community part of social drinking.
And I think CCB has always had that.
Always have.
I think that we've had a leg up on a lot of breweries.
We've never avoided it.
I think as an industry, though, the beer industry is the new, younger wine industry. So the wine industry has gotten old. Let's not lie about it. It's an older crowd. It's more expensive. It's harder to go to some of these places. Where the beer industry is
Still
in
has
areas
an entry level
that you don't have to dress up nice for. You can just go to and feel relaxed. You don't have to feel uncomfortable. Everybody fits in. It doesn't matter what you're wearing, who you're with.
And forget about the dogs and the kids.
Right.
And stores.
I think it's a thing.
think about 10 years ago. Did you go to a bar and see kids?
No.
Right. So I just think that the beer industry now as a whole is the new, younger wine industry.
I don't know. My parents used to take me to bars, and I'd be
under 21.
I know, but look at you
We'd
now.
go to the bar called The Strap after softball games, and I'd have to sit up there and watch them drink pitchers of beer.
You were on the foothills of Mount Rainier.
And I'd be like, Mom, I need some more quarters for the, what was the road game? The
skee ball? Or test drive?
I forget. It was
pole position.
Pole position.
Yes, shoot, that's way old school.
I need some more quarters.
It was like
that was
two
before
square
our day,
tires.
Yeah,
and I knew
I
knew after my mom had 3 beers, I was in, man. She would start giving me 20s.
Pole position.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Position.
But so you want to introduce family environments, is what you're saying?
And that's okay. So segue, friend zone. Friend zone is our family-based brew that we do with friends and family in other breweries.
What do you mean? What does that mean?
It's a collaboration.
Yeah, this is our collab beer that we do a couple times a year, and this is different than other collabs that we do because this one's specific to breweries that we have an actual personal, intimate connection with.
So you're brewing with other brewers. You're taking a little bit of it. Because this is a new trend, isn't it? I see this everywhere. All these different brewers are going together doing a collab brew.
It's been a thing.
But I feel like maybe it's social media that makes it more apparent.
It's a reason to drink.
It's like J-Lo doing a song with Pitbull. It's like a little...
Absolutely.
Right.
It's a duet.
We are BFFs with our friend zone people. It's not just a random collaboration.
It's not a play.
These are people we have an actual relationship with.
So who made this beer with you?
This is Tom Petty and Stevie Nicks.
So this is literally...
Tom Petty made this beer? That's impossible.
Spokane.
So River City here is literally our head brewer, Skylar. His brother works at this brewery in Oregon. And Spokane, yeah.
Washington.
And so we did a virtual collaboration with them where we did... They were FaceTiming with our brewers while we were brewing, and we FaceTimed with them while they were brewing so that we could have insight on what each of us brings to the table as far as how we
Now,
brew
would
beer
we
and
have
how they bring
FaceTime if there wasn't a pandemic, or would we have gone there and actually
No, we would still
hung
done
out?
this one exactly the same way.
This one would have been the same.
But you would have done it on FaceTime? I doubt it. Because nobody was doing FaceTime before the pandemic.
With this one being out of state, yeah, probably.
Yeah, you would have
I'm
went,
gonna
right?
say though the best part about this style with our friend zone, what we call it, is we can really, because we know these brewers so well, we can say, hey, what are you the best at, and here's what we're the best at, and take the two best of each different brewery and bring it together
Sure.
to collaborate.
To what extent are you collabing? Are you both taking the same different ingredients and making your own beers separately, or are you?
Or we're coming together with a recipe.
Yeah,
I mean,
okay.
And there are no rules.
Yeah.
And that's what's cool about Friend Zone. So, like, before this one, it was our friend right there in the Tascadero.
Yeah,
at
it was
Wildfields.
Wow.
Oh, cool.
Ryan Fields.
Ryan.
So
Ryan.
this isn't necessarily, multi-state.
And we've done two friend zones
Two
with
with
Wild.
Wildfields. We did one with
Yeah.
Mercenary. We've done one with.
No, like I said, this is a real thing. Like a lot of brewers are doing this now, where you're getting
Fieldworks.
together with other people, and give us the background behind that. Why are we doing this instead of just making our own beer?
Because again, it's an industry collaboration. It's
Cross promotion is cool too.
More
you know?
the cross-promotional part, the educational part, learning from others, thinking about things that you wouldn't think about because
That's
they're
cool,
working on a
yeah.
different system than you, and so they do things a different way because of that. And maybe there's stuff that you can leach off of them.
I
But
like that,
also
yeah.
just
Broadening your
getting
horizon,
back
yeah.
into doing brewing, I think, for the sake of you love it. You know what I mean? It's a fun thing to do.
Right.
I think it's
Yeah.
really important.
It
Well,
goes back to the brewing in the garage. You know what I mean? You call
Well,
your buddies
or-
over,
or
you
the
guys
guy that goes
throw
home-
together some
home-
cool
home
stuff.
from a day job
It's that
brewing
kind of thing.
and home brews.
Yeah. So, I mean, me and one of our brewers, Greg, and a couple other people, we, like, almost every other month, we do a homebrew day with
Right.
Haven, one of our cooks, and we just brew something. And it's,
So my mom would do
easy
Bunko
to just
night.
kind of get
That's-
back
that's
into,
really
like,
cute.
why we do this
Bunko.
for fun.
Bunko night,
Yeah.
homebrew day.
Now, I know you're more management role at CCB, Big D, but I mean, are you a brewer as well? Do you make a little home brew?
I've done
Great brewer.
very bit of home brewing, but I've also worked with our brew team on, whatever.
Any interest in
whatever
getting
it is
into
they
the
need.
production side?
No.
You like
I
doing
like what I
this?
do.
Yeah. Well, you get to drink it too. I
Yeah.
mean,
But we took all the work out of the
It's all
shop.
the
Feels
benefits.
like we talk to a lot of winemakers on this show. It feels like when you get like a good home brew, there's a better chance that it's going to be a good beer than a good wine made at home. Would you agree with that? Like I feel like
I
remember
agree with
Milosh? Remember Milosh made that great home brew. It was bad. It was
Yeah,
beautiful.
yeah,
but
yeah.
you see people who make wine at home, are like, I don't know about
Yeah,
that.
well,
A homebrew beer comes out at least drinkable sometimes. I've yet to ever have
but it
a
takes
homemade
a lot
wine.
longer to make a bottle of wine than it does, a
Yeah,
beer.
and so
Maybe
like
there's
you
more
age it for
science
how long,
involved.
and then you open it and you're like, oh shit, I can't drink any of
Yeah,
this.
we did this for a year, and then it's like, well, we're just going to drink it anyways and pretend we like it.
Right.
Yeah.
But if you screw up a beer, you got a couple months invested, then you could fix what you did and do it again. And that is what is nice about making beer, and what is very respectable about making wine.
And let's face it, 9 weeks waiting for a lager or 12 weeks.
We complain about lager times.
Can be the end of the world. These guys that wait 2 and 3 years for spirits and or wine, I don't know how they do it, officially, because you're just waiting to see if it's even drinkable.
Right.
Forget
I mean,
if it's good.
It's a big risk.
I wait every year for our deep dark, our barrel aged stout, and
But it's
that's
never
that's 9 months.
disappointed.
And it hasn't, but I'm
and
anxious all year long waiting
Sure.
for that.
We-
you know,
It's never
we try and-
disappointed.
but-
That's pretty tried and true.
Yeah, and that's what's fun about Friend Zone and any other collaboration is that you're taking. If you're not learning, you're actually in that downward spiral.
Yep.
So if you're not
Right.
taking, and whether it's a learn something new or just, wow, that's okay. I wouldn't
Change
have
up a
I wouldn't have
technique.
done it that way, but that's
Taking chances, learning something new,
yeah,
trying something
Yeah.
different,
and
right?
on
Yeah.
the fly. We were talking about that earlier, where when something, when there's a divergent, trends aren't designed to be every 13 weeks there's a new trend. Trends are a moving dynamic ball.
You guys really offer just about everything. I mean,
Yeah.
we talk about the
Something everyone's going to like.
the pale ale. We got the Terrifico, which is this great Mexican lager. We've got IPAs, hazy IPAs.
I mean,
you got a kettle
How
sour.
many
stouts.
hazy pale ales do you see?
Yeah,
No,
I
this
know.
is beautiful.
So you got to check out CCB. They're Central Coast Brew. They're here in San Luis Obispo. They're down Monterey Street. You can also find them on South Higuera. They've got fantastic food. They've got a food truck. They do all these different themed nights. What's the website, by the way?
CentralCoastBrewing.com.
Yeah.
So hit that up. Check
can
it out.
also find us
Try
at-
the events.
And
And
75% of the bars or restaurants probably in the county.
And that was the
we
next thing.
have our
We're
stuff.
really strong in the wholesale retail market.
Every time I go to La Esquina, I know that you guys you got like a tap takeover there.
I mean, and it's
That's
like
awesome.
he doesn't even know it's us. He was like, "This is the Terrifico is my favorite."
And if they don't have it, tell them you want it. We'll get it on there.
Yeah,
We'll bring
I
it
love
down.
it.
You can find them. Ask them when you get out to bars. I mean, seriously, restaurants, bars in this area. You want to try one of these Central Coast beers? It's CCB Central Coast Beer. Check it out. Thanks for coming on.
Try
guys.
them on South
Thanks
Higuera,
so
of course,
much for
Monterey
having
Street,
us.
but get that food, hang out with these
Yeah.
guys.
There we go.
Central
Look at
Coast
this.
Brewing in the house.
George, Kelly,
Hey,
Big
thank you
D
guys.
in the house.
Cheers.
Jeremy and Adam, we are the
Cheers.
Cork Dorks. Stick around.
Cheers.
The Turkey Buzzards are on the way here
Strictly.
at Mission Square. This is
Strictly.
the Crush 92.5.